There's dragons and towers that look like the ones that we just saw, and numbers on boulders. That door that we found clearly took us to wherever Havis calls home. Now we have to decide if we are ready to confront him or if we try to find a new way out. Are you ready for some Dungeon Dads?
Oh, yes.
Dragons and towers and boulders. Oh, my.
Heroes rise, heroes fall. I see them on the front line, standing tall. They're risking life and limb to answer the call. But what they fighting for? Don't know, don't care. Just along for the ride, but everyone must stand. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna win inside.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. You're listening to the Dungeon Dads. Every War Must End, episode 88.
Yeah, one away.
As all, one away. One away. We're almost there. I'm taking this thing in for a landing.
It's the Abbey Singer, as we call it in entertainment.
Yeah. Everybody get ready to talk like this. Real fast. As always, I'm your DM, Tom Blaylock, and I am joined by Tim Carr playing Filnyr Omajira Gilbrain. What's up, Tim?
I didn't realize that was my second surname.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Sam Frank playing the bastard Schnobik. What's up, Sam?
Now I just feel like I want to talk even slower.
Really kind of messed up. This is just how this thing goes. And John Watson playing the wizard and nobleman Ionus Schnobik. What's up, John?
I just got dragged. You know what I mean? I'm just getting dragged around.
Yeah. It's okay. I mean, are you guys ready to get back just right away into it? The only thing to remember from last time is, well, there's so many things. I think, going back and taking a quick listen to the opening 10, 15 minutes of what we were calling our information focus, not our information dump, but our information focus. I think it really elucidates where my mind is at in terms of what's left in this adventure. Like if we're gonna take this in for a landing in 89.
Spoiler alert, we're not.
Spoiler alert. It's impossible. And that you are likely in the realm with Havis, but what realm that is, where it is, hard to know. And also just impossible to know if this is one of the realms that's actually been tuned to slow down. Right? That's the other thing.
We don't know how long we're gone for. If we're gone.
Yeah, your relative sense of time is just like, you just don't have it.
Oh, fuck. That means all the rules about sleeping and eating.
So we're actually going to start this with Filnyr's backpack.
Ooh.
Backpack.
You actually... you arrive in this thing, you all had your hands on this giant boulder, this 75-foot diameter spherical boulder that's like in the middle of this field with nothing around it, miles away from the tower where you see these dragons flying overhead. There's no signs of life here except the grass and the trees which are nearby and those kinds of things. So there's actual foliage, there's things living here, but you don't see creatures at all.
So there's no bird song.
There's no bird song. It sounds kind of otherworldly, almost like you have put your hands over your ears, except the voices of each other are as expected, right? But it feels like a different place. Like you really can tell that you haven't just been teleported to some other place in Gilbrain. You have been teleported into another world, another plane here. And so I think you probably all would hear this, though. Let me get a really quick perception check from Ionus and Schnobik, because it's not happening close to you.
What episode? What episode number is this?
88.
I was just trying to figure out how many episodes it was going to take me before I realized I need to have my character sheet out before we start.
Because it takes so long to double click and then double click
Well,
again.
I gotta find it first. What are we doing here? Perception checks, or do you just want passives?
I want perception checks.
Okay.
I got
Actual
a 3.
perception.
Awesome.
24.
Okay.
All
All right.
From me as well, or no?
Yeah, you're going to have it with advantage. It's in your backpack.
Okay.
Filnyr, what do your elf eyes see?
24 is
Okay.
with advantage.
Only slightly less than mine.
Okay. So you hear muffled talking, and it's
Filnyr,
What? Why?
what do you have? What do you have in that backpack?
I don't
Is
recall
it-
having anything that could speak. And I'll
Is-
take it off and put it down.
Wait a second. Does he have the
I have the
where's
dagger.
where's
I
the
have-
Godstone?
It's
Godstone's
back in,
with-
Is it
it's
back
being
in-
guarded by
yes,
Felipe and
yes.
Filnyr, you did not bring that rock with you, did you?
Which
Is that
rock?
some kind of over the shoulder boulder holder?
I don't have the Godstone. I would not carry that around.
Then what is that noise coming from your
It's heavy
bag?
enough when I can focus. I don't know. I'll put my backpack down and start to rummage through it.
I draw my sword.
As you open up your backpack, you hear much clearer the voice of your sister. Filnyr, you don't belong here. Return home at once. Filnyr, you don't belong here. Return home at once.
Shut up. Galwinia.
Filnyr, you don't belong here. Return home at once.
is that Galwinia? What is
Filnyr, you don't belong here. Return
Filnyr,
home at
what is
once.
that? What is that? Shut it up.
It is my
I
sister's
feel-
voice,
I don't
undoubtedly.
belong
I
here.
feel
don't know.
someone
Shut
has
it.
found a
What is
way
it coming
to
from, Tom?
introduce a magic mouth
So you're
into
like
this adventure.
It is actually the one thing that Galwinia gave you in your backpack. It is a crowbar. It is
Okay.
your crowbar that is in there, and if you pick up this crowbar, and there are two tines that sort of stick out to pull nails on your crowbar,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see that they are moving, and that there's some like eyes now just above the tines that are moving its mouth, and it just keeps saying it over and over again. Filnyr, you do not belong here.
Can I
Return home at once.
can I look at it? Does it seem to make eye contact with me, or is it just like an animated thing?
It's just an animated thing.
I will.
Shut that thing
I'm
up.
going to wrap it
Filnyr, you
in
don't
something.
belong here. Return home
I'm going to
at
wrap
once.
it in the clothes that I've got in there and just make it as like muted as possible. The
All
river,
right,
I'll
so
just
you
throw
can-
this thing in the river. I don't need it.
No, don't get rid of it.
Ionus, use some of your precious magical energies to dispel this, please.
Wait, no. Where are we? What's happening?
Well,
What just happened?
some sort of trigger. This crowbar was a gift from Galwinia, and I suppose perhaps was designed to respond when we showed up here, where we are
Why
apparently
would we
not
not
meant to
belong
be.
here?
Why would we belong here?
Why would we not belong here?
Well, both questions are equally valid, I suppose, but perhaps this has something to do with the memories that I've had and the
Master
knife. and
Crowbar, how do we return home?
do you really want me to take it out so it can repeat itself over and over and over again?
Well, it's not very helpful, is it?
No.
All
It's
right,
not like it
all
points
right.
the way to the door.
Hand it to me.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I want to make sure we are not within earshot of those dragons or anyone else that might be around.
You can keep it wrapped
No.
up. Just hand it to me.
Very well.
All right. So are you gonna? So it's still wrapped up. You still hear it.
I still have like the clothes on it.
All right. I'm gonna hold on to it. It was given to him by Galwinia.
It was
Yeah.
given to him by Galwinia.
All right. I want to see if I can. I want you to get into a circle. Grab my hands. I want to see if I can get this to take us to Galwinia if I cast plane shift.
Is that how plane shift works? You can go to a
not
person.
necessarily. It's better for teleport, but it is something that was of her, and I can get at least probably to her vicinity.
Okay. All right. So throw up the spell for me so I can see. I didn't expect that.
He can just
John.
cast it, can he?
I can.
Yeah,
I'm
you can just
hoping
cast
to get.
it, but
No.
I want to get
We
to
do
her.
have to link hands.
Instead
Yeah.
of throwing it up. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, I didn't realize you could use plane shift to like banish an unwilling creature to another plane as well.
You can also
An
do that, yes.
offensive plane shift.
Yeah, I hate that saber.
That's
suck
nasty.
bullshit, though.
No, but I love those things. Okay. Let's see here. I don't think it's gonna work like that.
We don't know
Like,
where she is. We just know.
You don't know where she is. It's normally just saying like I'm gonna.
Like if we knew where her house was, we could go to her house, right?
But like plane shift doesn't. It just takes you to the plane. It doesn't take you anywhere specific. I was just hoping that maybe I could
Okay.
get closer to her if I have something of hers. I could get my tuning fork to match the frequency of the crowbar.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. So there's a lot of places. The closer to 100 that you roll on a D100 will determine, and I need you to do it as a whisper to me.
All right, there you go.
Okay. All right. All right. So is it just an action and it just takes you there?
It's just an action. It takes us there.
Okay.
Wait, I say, gather round, link hands in a circle,
Is it? I hope a triangle works. There's only three of us.
Semantics, Filnyr. Just grab hands.
Yes, it was in jest, Ionus.
Okay. So you feel the plane shrink around you and your stomachs give you the sense that you were actually falling into the ground. And you go, it's like you're falling. And then like you can see down where your feet are, you can see a city and you're heading toward it at a breakneck pace. And you all land just outside of a tavern surrounded by sort of a sidewalk cafe by an ocean. And there are people around, and one of them looks over at you and says, "Oh, good gracious! You weren't here. You weren't here a second ago."
My apologies. We were just experimenting with a bit of magic. Could you tell us where we are, good sir?
Magic. You seem nice fellers, but you should know I'm required by the Robert Hark to report anyone who uses magics.
Well, we didn't use it here.
Well, I suppose you used it to get here, then.
Well, we were doing something not from here, and now we appear to be here. Our apologies. It was an accident.
So it's uncontrollable, dangerous, wild magic is what you're saying.
No, quite the opposite.
Is anyone?
Well.
No one's hurt. We just happen to be here.
Very controllable. Just a minor miscalculation of destination. That's all. We mean no harm. We will not harm anyone.
Well, if you're in my tavern's restaurant space, you should probably order some fish stew and some bread and some ale.
That would be just fine. A round for the three of us, please.
I only take silvers. I don't count coppers.
I think we can make that work.
Very well. Take the table there on the docks. So after he points you to a table, you look around, you realize Schnobik is not with you. He is actually already sitting at a table on the dock and he is in conversation with the three people there. You all sort of arrived not holding hands. Clearly, he let go of your triangle as you were going, and because Ionus's magic is so tight, he didn't end up somewhere 100 miles away.
I like that. I like that.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Did he arrive here before us?
Same time, but the barkeep didn't see him because he landed and sat down in a chair. So Schnobik, these people who are there, they were just eating their fish stew. You're right out on a dock. The sea spreads out before you. You're outside of a tavern that's actually on the dock in the bay. You hear your brother speaking, sort of over, back behind you, and it sounds like he might be getting in trouble with the authorities. And so you have decided to keep your head low.
I believe I will sit here and watch the tide roll away.
Oh, well, it's good food. Do you like this food? Do you want some stew, sir?
I feel like I would just be wasting time.
Jesus. Because you're on the dock of the bay. Is that what you're saying?
That's what he's saying.
Yeah, this is like an extended one. Okay. Okay.
Tom's he's still on a run
It's
from
times
last
like this
episode.
that I wish I knew how to whistle. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Ionus and Filnyr, you see Schnobik, and he is not partaking of the fish stew, but he is safely sitting at a table with strangers.
Oh, that one over there too. We'll take a round. 3 stews and 3 drinks.
Okay, I'll bring them out to you. Just go and enjoy yourself. And I'm not calling the police.
Much appreciated, good sir.
Much appreciated.
How much
Very
of these?
good.
How much of these stews?
Normally a silver piece a piece. I'm gonna give you the very best, though. It'll be 3 silver pieces a piece.
Oh my goodness! Look what I found, and I hold up a gold piece.
Oh, well, there's 10 silver per gold, so that will be 2 gold, please, sir.
What?
I'm also gonna charge you for the ale.
Ah,
The ale will be coming out shortly.
well, fine. Trying to look rich.
So, Ionus, have you ever been to Hark City?
Of course.
Okay. So you recognize that you are in the second ward of Hark City right now, right by the water. This is sort of like the commercial center of Hark. The one thing I'll say that's probably different from when you were here last is that the faces are almost exclusively light-skinned faces here. And Hark City was sort of, in some ways, a bit like Monterre in that it was a place where multiple different like species and races of creatures and like various colors of skin like were around. And that does not seem to be the case here in the second ward, which clearly would have been last time you were here.
This place looks very different from the last time I saw it, Filnyr. But
Really? How
welcome
so?
to Hawk.
Hawk City.
Hawk City. We appear to be in the second ward. Perhaps this is where Galwinia and Mr. Percy rushed off to.
Well, I would welcome some time with both of them.
Is this cosmopolitan enough that Schnobik is not attracting notice? I feel like a man dressed all in black with a hood and potentially a porcelain mask, depending on how high the sun is.
Cosmopolitan enough for him to not attract attention. The mask, I sort of assume that the mask is similar enough to masks that people who have leprosy also wear, that it's common enough in the big cities to have people who were completely covering their face and skin. Ionus sticks out because of his dark skin in a way that you, if you're wearing your
Are you
mask,
saying that people will think I'm a leper?
yes. That is what I'm saying.
And yet he's welcome
Well.
at their table.
Yes.
I suppose it is useful.
They know you mostly get it from armadillos. So,
True.
so okay. Stew comes out. It's very pedestrian in its presentation, but it is absolutely delicious smelling. There's 9 or 10 different types of seafood in it, and the very special Hark dumpling that is sort of famous as an additive to their stews. They make them separately and they drop the dumplings in, and the dumplings are actually filled with another flavor of soup. So you have soup in the stew that's a fish stew, and then when you bite into the dumpling, it's a completely other type of soup inside of it. It's just absolutely famous. It's like a sweet and sour Hark soup inside the dumpling.
It's like putting Gushers inside of a Twinkie or something. That sounds terrible.
Soup Gushers is like, I don't know why that's the funniest thing that we've come across in this world. It's a soup with dumplings, and inside a totally different kind of soup.
It's famous. It's Hark City is famous for this stuff, man. It's like San Francisco's Pier. What is it? Pier 39.
Yep. Clam chowder and a sourdough bowl.
Clam chowder and a sourdough bowl. This is their clam chowder and a sourdough bowl. It's
But
more
that's
like
one
a
kind of
But
soup.
inside the bowl is a different soup.
It's a different soup. They're famous for it, though, guys. You just win in Hark. Eat the gusher is what that's actually the saying. that they
That's
have.
the saying.
Let me ask. Can I ask this question? Is it considered the same dish no matter which 2 types of soup are used, or is it? Are they considered variations, or to be this dish, does it have to be 2 particular kinds of soup?
No, so the base soup, the base like, sort of fish stew, that's the thing that's the same like all the time everywhere. And then you can get it as a separate soup that's got your thing in it. You actually normally order that, but this guy just gave you the most popular. It's like a sweet and sour egg drop soup inside the fish stew. It's sort of like going to Belgium and getting a cone of French fries and them giving you 8 different kinds of mayonnaise. It's still French fries. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Except they're made of soup.
Except, haven't you ever had any Chinese dumpling with soup inside
So
of
if
it?
I had-
Come on.
So if I got like a dumpling with like tomato soup inside it, it would still be considered traditional, just a variation on it.
That's correct. Yep.
Got
Yep.
it. It's whatever flavor you want to add to your fish stew.
Yes, that's right.
Sure.
But you're supposed to eat it. Okay, listen. I know we've gone deep. And
We're
Off the
diving
rails here.
in.
Also, but I mean, I want to remind you, when was the last time you had like a really good fish stew?
I mean, I had seafood risotto last night. It was
No, Mr. Percy made it for
Oh,
you,
that's
not
true.
the person Tim Carr.
sorry.
But your characters. This is Percy's favorite place.
Yeah.
And the way to eat these dumplings is to take the dumpling out of your soup and bite into it and drink the soup from the dumpling and then finish eating the dumpling and then complete your soup. Do not cut a hole in these and mix the soups. They're going to think you're animals if you do that.
I'll show them. I'll show them how it's done. I'll eat it perfectly.
If I were on like Hark City Top Chef, I'd be like, we're doing a play on comfort food, and we do like grilled cheese and tomato soup, but it'd be tomato soup with dumplings, but then with like a broccoli cheddar soup inside it.
That's right. But it have to be deconstructed. So
Yeah.
of course.
Elevated. It's elevated.
Elevated. Okay.
Is Schnobik with us yet?
Yeah, no, he's over there in his. Are you going to get up and join your buddies, Schnobik?
They're like,
Yeah, I'm gonna minor illusion whisper over to Schnobik's ear. Just be like, Schnobik, we're over here. Come this way.
Just tell them you sat at the wrong table.
Say
or something.
please.
I'm not saying please. This is some good soup, and you owe me. Look at the soup.
Do you think it would still be considered the same dish if the dumplings had dwarven blood inside them?
Schnobik, that is fucking gross. Listen, you know who makes this soup. I think we're close. Get over here.
All right, I go and join them.
Okay.
All right. While he's walking over, I want a perception check, which will do absolutely nothing. But I want to see if I see Galwinia or Mr. Percy around.
Okay. Better hope he's high. Better roll it high.
Mr. Percy's high.
4.
You know what? You're pretty sure he's sitting over there 3 tables away. He's in disguise, but like Galwinia is a master of disguise, and there is a man with sort of grayish hair. His face is a little different, but you know that like it's well within Galwinia's powers to do that.
Can Filnyr find Ionus's line of sight and then kind of look and do a double take? And Ionus, who is that? Do you know?
I stand up.
No,
I
wait,
walk over
Ionus.
to the man.
Wait, and then I want to do an investigation. I want to look harder at this guy as he's on his way over. Just be like, what is happening?
Okay.
So is that investigation or perception?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whichever one you want to do. I think investigation on this one.
I think that makes more sense, but my
I think
bonus
so.
is worse, so we'll see what happens. I got a 5, which played perfectly. So
Holy shit. Now that he gets up, you're pretty certain your sister is sitting with this old guy. She's a master of disguise. It's hard to tell.
it's like her favorite disguise.
I just want to say 20 minutes ago,
little decoration.
I was pretty sure we were about to be fighting a dragon and an ancient elf.
Yes. Yes. And then a crowbar starts talking and everything changes. Love Dungeons and Dragons.
So good.
I walk over and I put my hand on the man's shoulder.
Oh, do I know you?
I just look down and I say, it's fine, Mr. Percy. It is I.
Marguerite, is this another one of your clients? You said you weren't known in this part of town.
Marguerite. Is that a name you take?
Do you come to the place of tea desires? Sir, I don't recognize you immediately now, but now I'm looking at you closely. Maybe I have.
Ionus, I think...
The ruse is fine. No, the ruse is over. We're here. We need to talk. Please.
Ionus,
Well, I'm having lunch with my husband. It's not very fine. You come to the 3rd ward, and I will take all the care of you that I can. But for now, I am with my husband.
Good Lord, Filnyr, is this a normal thing? Does she know how to stop?
Schnobik is
swear.
just laughing in the corner.
I thought. Have we made a mistake?
I say you all made mistakes.
Ionus, I've heard that in
including
the House
Marguerite.
of Tea Desires, they give you a tea and then another bag inside the tea that has a different tea.
I'm gonna look very closely at this man that is talking to me. I'm gonna investigate the man with my eyes. I'm not gonna pat him down, but I'm just going to look at him very closely. 17.
Not an ocular pat down.
Yeah. Sir, I am quite certain that you are from Monterre. You should back away from this table. I'll have you know I'm a king's man.
A kingsman.
Yes.
I realize we've made a mistake, but I'm also highly offended with what he has said. So I say I'm so very sorry. I thought you were someone else. Yes, my friend and I will be leaving, and I minor illusion of fart sound from that guy, and then prestidigitation smell.
Oh, sorry, Marguerite. I don't know what's come over me. But it is nice to see these Monterans bend the knee like they should.
Another really, really horrible smell. I'm so sorry. We're leaving. Sorry, we're leaving.
Marguerite, I swear it was not me. It was the man.
You should have your food. You should have your food checked.
One.
There's something wrong, Marguerite. Maybe you should take your husband to the the doctor. Good Lord, you stink. And we walk back over to Schnobik.
Okay, all right.
Sorry, I could have sworn that was Mr. Percy. Let me explain. I was focusing on the crowbar so that maybe it could get us closer to Galwinia, but Filnyr, you and I spoke of maybe finding Mr. Percy or Galwinia and talking to them about our recent discoveries. I thought this was the best. This was our next move.
Well, I am not disappointed to be gone from wherever we were. I mean, certainly we know how to get back now.
Do you think... Where were we?
I'm not sure. Can I pull out the maps that I had
sure.
and start perusing them to see if anything looked like that and then had labeling on it in some way where I could sort of put it together?
For sure. Here's the one thing I will tell you, that throughout Gilbrain, paper, just in general, like books, are very rare and expensive. So to be pulling
this is probably
out
not the place to do it.
Maps, yeah, I mean, you would know. I mean, if you want to pull them out here, it's fine, but it would be sort of like, being in a coffee shop in 1989 and pulling out a laptop computer.
Right.
Like people, not everybody has seen a laptop computer in 1989.
Right.
It's sort of a, it's you will have to pay more for your soup almost certainly if you.
We've already paid for the soup.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Okay, I won't do that. Knowing that information,
you're extremely rich.
Yeah, knowing that information, I will basically tell Ionus that we may have a clue in the maps, but we should find a more private place to look through those and see. Perhaps it was labeled, but I can only assume it was whatever plane Havis was spending his 20 years in.
My God, I cannot believe we were that close.
Yes, these people assume that we are rich, but they don't know that we are map rich.
They don't.
Well, why don't we finish eating, and then I can try to contact Mr. Percy through my chest, which I will not pull out here.
Very well.
And the barkeep brings you your ale, and he says, "So you're from out of town? Yeah. Looking for a place to stay?"
We might be, but our business may be over soon. Do you have a recommendation? Is that why you're alluding to?
I happen to have only one of my captain's rooms available. The bed is very large, and I could bring you up a sleep sack, something like that. If you wanted to use if you wanted to have the captain's room here, obviously all the warboats are gone, so business is not as good as it usually is.
Yes. How soon do you expect them back?
They went upriver, and word is a lot of them are dead. So hard to know. They do tend to like to travel on the boats upriver for campaigning. They don't take them out in the sea. The fishermen are fine, but they don't need beds.
Do we know what's upriver?
I would assume that's the boat massacre that we were involved in.
Yes, yes. It's the lake at the end of the world is upriver.
What was your name, sir?
Heigl is my name.
Heigl. Do they call you anything else, Heigl?
Well, my wife does, but I won't be telling you what that is.
That's not what I meant at all.
Just kidding.
That's
She
fine.
calls me real big Heigl. And we've been together for 72 years. That's right. I'm an old man.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
No, I think we will enjoy our soup and our ale. And should I need a rise,
We've been together
we will
since
return.
we were children because she's also my sister. Just so you know, it's not weird here. We didn't make any children, is what I'm saying. Don't quit it. Quit looking at me like that. I'm not going to take this from outsiders, too. And someone else sort of pipes up and says, Heigl, it's disgusting. And he says, I'm just whatever. You want the room or no?
We will wait for now. Thank you, Heigl.
Okay, I can have Hin make it up for you right now. Everyone in my family's named the same thing, H.
Good to know.
I've been this innkeeper for 20 years. Do they call me Heigl the innkeeper? No.
No.
But you marry one sister.
That's right. You seem to understand me. Yeah, but you hardly even touch your soup. Or your other soup.
Well, that was the wrong voice for that. But anyway, yes.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Suddenly,
We changed it.
Filnyr's
I heard
looking over
another
his
voice.
shoulder like, what?
I heard another voice. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll see you.
Not your voice, Tom. I was talking Sam's.
Sam,
He did Abel. He did Abel.
Snobby's good at doing voices.
Yeah, right. But Schnobik didn't know Abel.
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing about you haven't touched your soup or your other soup.
You kill us with this multiple soup time. It's gross.
I'm so glad. I'm
Yeah,
so glad.
it's gross.
I'm here for you. I'm here for you. So glad.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you guys want to do?
I think we want to eat our soup and then wander around.
Then be out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get out of this inn on the docks.
All right. That is actually the name of it. In on the docks. But there's only one inn.
I'm going to come out to him and say, well, this place is far less welcoming than I remember. But, well, we're here. There's not much we can do about it. I'll try to contact Mr. Percy. Maybe he and Galwinia will have a better idea of where we can stay. Maybe we can stay with them. And I'll pull out the chest. I'll say,
Once we get somewhere quiet.
yeah, maybe around the corner or something. You know, just we're walking. Maybe we do kind of draw attention, but a spot
There's no
where
room at the
nobody's
inn?
looking.
Well, there was a room at the end. We just
Yeah,
didn't.
but they
We
don't
opted
want
out
it.
of it.
We don't want it.
Apparently, there's a lot of anti-sister fucker bias in this group of
Well,
adventurers.
I was going to say he was going to charge us like 800 gold for it since everything got marked up the second that.
You didn't pull out the maps.
No,
You didn't pull out the maps.
No,
You're
but
good.
everything got marked up with Ionus. Like,
Ionus,
Yeah.
I pull out the
Yeah.
gold, and all of a sudden it's 2 gold. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, come on.
Yeah.
So I pull out the chest and I just say, Mr. Percy, it's Ionus.
It's a long pause. And then, no, he is talking to me in it. He knows we're gone. He would only do it if it was emergency. Yes, Ionus, are you there?
Yes, yes, Mr. Percy, how are you?
Never better. It's
Listen.
been a very, very good few months, if I do say so myself.
I'm happy to hear it. Listen, I happen to be in Hawk City near a restaurant that makes
What?
soup the way that you used to make it. Are you nearby?
Which tavern are you at? Are you at Inn on the Docks?
Yes, actually, that's where we are.
Dear God, man. We're staying at Inn on the Docks. Have you met Heigl yet, or Hin?
Hmm.
Yes, Heigl.
Lovely man. His wife is even lovelier. Well,
That's smart.
do not come to our door. Rent a room yourself. Ask for the captain's room, and then you can stay. And we will bend the wood around in a fashion which will allow us to speak to each other, or even connect the two rooms to each other. It's going to be so sweet.
I look at Filnyr Schnobik. What do you think?
No one can reveal our location if we are already on the docks. You cannot be doxxed if you are on the docks.
Oh my God. Oh my
Sam is in peak form tonight.
He is really, yeah. He's had some in-laws with him this last week. He's like, this bird's got to strut its feathers. I got to get these feathers out today.
I guess we go get the room.
All right.
All right.
All right. I will speak to you again momentarily, Mr.
Yes,
Percy.
bring me yon sister fucker.
Perhaps we'll keep the name calling to ourselves.
So Heigl is so
call
happy
him
that you're.
by his name.
Yeah. Heigel's so happy that you guys came back, and he takes you up, and it's actually kind of nice in there. It's not the worst room you've ever been in. The bed is very large for, anywhere around here, which makes it basically a full-size bed. And he, as promised, gives you some very clean bedding that can be rolled out on the floor for, one or two of you if you want to do it that way. And he says, the only thing I will tell you in an apology sort of fashion is that we do have a couple of newlyweds who are shacking up next to you. So old Hen and I it keeps us up some of the day and night. Just full honesty. I'm just going to charge you $2 silver a night for the room. Keep it as long as you want.
Very well, and we pay before we leave. Or do you need a night in advance?
Well, how long you planning on staying? And I'll take half up front.
As of now, a night.
All right. Well, I'll take the whole thing then.
I'll hand him 2 silver.
Okay. All right. All right. You can let yourself out tomorrow. As long as you're out before lunch, no charge.
Very well. Thank you, Heigl.
Master Heigl.
Yeah, it's very nice for you to call me that. That's very nice of you. Especially for someone suffering as you are.
I have noticed that there is some ill will towards men who might marry their sisters here in Hark City. What about one who would only listen to his sister be pleasured?
Well, he stumbles over. He says, listen, different dads. We had different dads. And also, this was a different time. It's 47 years ago when I was born. It's a long time ago.
Master Heigl, you owe me no justification. I merely wish, Filnyr, you are in the clear.
Thank you, I suppose.
Yes, well, thank you. Right. We will see you tomorrow.
And as soon as the guy leaves, he's walking down the hall. He's like, the footsteps are disappearing. And you see, it's like the wood that connects to the next room. It liquefies, and a circle forms that is about a 4 foot high, 2 foot radius, but like 4 foot diameter hole that is like a small path through the 2 rooms. And you hear Galwinia say, "Oh my, Percy, your tricks never cease to amaze me." And Galwinia steps through the door and says, "Brother,
sister,
we agreed that you would not come searching for me."
It was not actually my intention to come searching for you. But I heard your voice in the crowbar.
What do you know about yourself, Filnyr?
That is quite a question, Galwinia. I have
How
only.
did you find your way inside the Robert Hark?
We
Well,
were
inside the what? Hold on. Inside the
we
what?
were the Robert Hark, she said. That's the oar that the king carries.
Are you saying that's where we were?
That's what she's saying.
If your crowbar spoke to you and told you you should not be there and to return home, then you were inside the Robert Hark. And I'm guessing you have quite a few questions for me now.
We have many questions. We were in the Gilbrain Wilds. Found an entrance there. We did not know where it led. And we left as quickly as we heard the warning.
And Percy steps through the hole in the wall and he says, "You see, Galwinia, I knew we should not let them meet each other again."
Meet each other? What do you want
Mr.
about?
Percy?
Ionus, you were not missing for 2 years. You and Filnyr went to the Gilbrain Wilds on your own, on a mission from your father. He had me wipe your memories of it.
Both of
You
us.
keep finding yourselves together. And Galwinia seems to think that Filnyr is the... I don't know what.
What are you talking about, Mr. Percy?
I'm talking about this world coming apart at the seams, Ionus, and I think that you and Filnyr, and thank God the priest is dead because he was all a deep part of it.
What do you mean a part of it? I'm not trying to pull.
No, but you will.
I will.
In 10 days' time, Cutchin Sweet Lion will walk to Robert's gift with the entirety of the army of Hark. He will strike his great mace upon the Rock of Life, which is where the elves were executed many, many years ago. And they will all come flooding out from the mace, killing everything except the new Robert Hark, Cutchin Sweet Lion. You two would stop that from happening. That is what keeps this world in balance.
Which part keeps the world in balance? Us stopping it or it happening?
It happening. If the Robert Hark is not sated with enough blood, the valley will be flooded with ghosts and undead and demons from below. Flooded.
But that doesn't make any sense, Mr. Percy. What
You
does
were inside Robert Hark, is that true?
the way Galwinia tells it, we were.
And what did you see?
A boulder. Grass. That is all.
We saw dragons. We saw a tower.
Yes.
As
But
I said,
what about the ghosts?
what ghosts? We left immediately. We did not linger.
There should have been
Why?
ghosts there. Everywhere.
Why would the blood sating a king being seated on a throne do anything for the demons down below? Or the ghosts and the undead? Why do they
are
care?
Afraid. They are afraid of the mace of the Robert Hark. As they are afraid of the Godstone. As they are afraid of Donatus. And Ehi.
And none of those things have changed?
The Robert Hark is the weapon. Is the weapon that keeps them all at bay. If the blood is not spilled, if the ghosts do not take their piece of the pie, the mace is not recharged, and they can feel it and taste it, and they are close.
Does this have anything to do with the ghosts that were surrounding the giving tree, Filnyr?
Everything to do with them.
I'm having trouble understanding.
How did you go there? Did Chandelian send you? Did she somehow figure out a way to get past my wards?
What wards? No, we went to the Gilbrain Wilds. We were fighting alchemists and we discovered a puzzle.
We found some levers. Pulled them. And then we were there.
So there's a path in that people could dumbly stumble onto.
Perhaps. It was not obvious. It was hidden. It was hidden under what we thought was a building, but turned out to be a facade.
Can I do an insight check on Mr. Percy?
Yeah.
That is a 21.
He just doesn't know what to do about this information that you're giving him. Like, it's clear what he's saying to you is true to him, and he doesn't understand. There's clearly something else that he thought happened to get you there. And that's like that you're talking past each other. He doesn't understand what you're like, how this could have happened any other way than the one way he has in his mind.
I have a question for you too.
Yeah.
Which is, so he just told us it's 10 days before, Cutch and Sweetline goes to Robert's gift. How does that line up with the timeline for when we were expecting, or we didn't have a precise timeline for when that was going to happen, did we?
Healthsmith said that he was expected back the next day. In your time.
Are you talking about that timeline, Tim, or the timeline for
I'm trying to
Hark
figure
and
out
for Ehi?
No, I'm trying to figure out how much, how the time went while we were in, we weren't there for very long, but
right.
in Robert's,
right.
Super
hard to tell. It's just super hard to tell how long you've been gone.
Yeah, I was just trying to see if we had a metric for the invasion of Robert's gift again. That would be the only thing that we could have put it together, unless we have I don't know what the date is there, but we could ask him,
right.
Mr. Percy, what is the date?
Well, let's see. It is a Wednesday. We left Lakenhearth 2 months ago, which lines up to whatever.
Right. Okay.
It was a Wednesday when we went into the Robert Hark.
Yes.
Ionus, I would speak with you privately, and I do not trust this old fool.
I hear you, Schnobik. You are a man of practicality, and I support your conversation with Ionus. Know this. That realm should have been filled with ghosts. It is a realm of the dead, not a realm of matter and men. There should not have been a tower, and there should not have been dragons.
Then perhaps we were not there. Galwinia, are you certain that is the only place your crowbar would have warned me?
You are the one who cast that magic mouth on that crowbar using my voice. It was set to only go off if you ever ventured into the Robert Hark again.
Again?
I don't know if other realms would trigger it. But your magic is so different from even what Mr. Percy can do, and it seems even what Ionus can do.
All right, we're going to have to stop. My head is spinning. Mr. Percy, you first. What is your idea of what's going on? Filnyr and I have met each other before.
Yes. When you went to study magics, you ventured to Lakeshire. You met him there in the Neverwinter Museum. I know because I was with you. You two hit it off grandly and went to the Gilbrain Wilds to, I don't know, expand your knowledge. You were obsessed. You were obsessed with learning to cast a fireball. And you thought for sure the elves would know how to do it.
It's fucking stupid. All right. and so?
And Filnyr went with you. And when you came back... I had told everyone that you were missing. And I took you back up to that cave. And I did what I've done 100 times to you. To protect you, my boy.
100 times.
Protect me?
At least.
Protect me from what, Mr. Percy? It's obvious I can take care of myself.
Yes. I suppose you don't need old Percival anymore.
Well, I don't need you doing this.
Well,
There are very real dangers happening. There's information that I knew that I no longer know. Apparently this man who I've befriended was my friend for a much longer time. What if I had never met him again?
This is a lot like my younger years. All I can tell you is I never, ever did that to you without your consent, Master Ionus.
Why would I want my memory erased?
I think you made a deal. I don't know.
A deal with whom?
I believe with you, half-elf.
A deal with me. That I would wish to protect him from myself. Somehow.
I don't know.
Certainly
All
you know
I know,
more.
this is what I know. And your sister has been wonderful in getting me out of all this nonsense. All I can say to you is that if the ghosts are not inside the Robert Hark, and something else comes out of it, when Cutchin strikes the rock of life-giving, then none of us know what will happen, how the cycle will change, whether the demons might come, whether the valley will be flooded with demons and undead like you half-elf told me it would be.
When did
I'm
I
going to
tell
run
you?
an insight check. I'm sorry, Tim, go ahead.
When did I tell you that? You can run your insight check simultaneously. That's fine.
I'm going to run an insight check on Schnobik. Every time he says the word demon. That's 10.
He reacts like kind of big, like his eyes move, his mask moves. You can't see his eyes very well, but it looks like he knows about the demons.
I mean, listen, I don't like demons, but I don't know anything about elves, committing a mass slaughter in order to keep them away.
Right.
Or do I?
No, for sure not. The light well that you've been building, it was either a protective place while Bezlith searches for the center of the Gilbrain, or something looking for the deep water. that would bring the water up, that would potentially kill the demons that were coming out from the deep.
Mr. Percy, are you the man that I grew up with? Who are you?
So he just like slaps you hard across the face. And he says,
Is that an attack roll?
yeah. And you're gonna take actually it's 8 damage, John.
What was the attack?
19.
Surprise!
And he just hits the shit out of your face. He says, I have given up everything for you and your family. I could have gone along with your mother, Shandolin, and killed your father. I could have done so many things. I kept you alive, and I kept your brother alive. I kept you out of it, and I have helped you survive all of the awful things that you have done and wrought in this world, and I am proud of the man you have become, and you are that man largely because of me. Do not question my loyalty ever again. And then he finishes this, and you can tell he's a little scared after saying this. And he looks over at Galwinia, who's like nodding along and like, yes, keep, like, say more. He's like, she's like giving him the hand, and he's like, and I don't work for you anymore. I just love you.
I already have my sword out.
Yeah, sure.
Percy, you old fool. You've kept us alive, so you say, but in the dark, always in the dark.
What of it?
Bigby's hand.
Vampire. Bigby's hand.
Yeah. I grab him.
Okay. All right. And what's the saving throw on this?
Fuck this shit. It's a
Strength saving
contested
throw.
check.
Okay.
It's a grapple, right?
It's a grapple.
Are you grappling Schnobik?
No,
No.
I'm grappling Mr. Percy.
What? You're grappling Mr. Percy?
He just slapped the shit out of me, and then he says, what of it?
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Mm-hmm.
all right. All
You
right.
cannot keep us in the dark, Percy, and expect us not to become accustomed to it. Cannot expect us to be able to find the light. You have done this.
So, wait, do we have to do a contested grapple here?
Yeah.
Dude is strong, but, not that strong.
Not Bigby's
so,
hand strong.
Not Bigby's hand strong.
So yeah, I roll a d20. Oops. That was to you. That is
I got it. I got it.
Going to be a
What do you add to that?
17.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot of adding to that.
Yes.
Dang. Okay. So here, this is he gets this plus 6. That's a 18. So your Bigby hand like grapples him, and then he like pushes it away, and then he just sort of stops fighting it and says, then crush me to death.
This
Master
isn't about
Ionis.
crushing you to death, Mr. Percy.
Do
You've
it.
done nothing today but dance around my questions. I want answers. Who are you, and why are you doing this to me? You haven't told me what I wanted from you. You haven't told
Tell
me
me
the
what
things
you
that
want.
I've done.
What you really, really want.
I'll tell you what I want. What I really, really want. I want you to tell me who you are. I want you to tell me why you're erasing my memory. I want you to tell me what I've done. And then I want you to stop talking. And Galwini, I want you to start talking.
Very well. I am the court wizard of Chandolin de Marode. I have been such for a very long time. My father was that before me, and then they assigned me to you, just all this you know. And then as a teenager, your powers grew. You know this. I told you this. And you have hurt many people. And each time you come crawling to me, fix it, Mr. Percy. Fix it, please. Do I know everything you did in the Gilbrain Wilds? No. I don't even ask anymore. Fix it, Mr. Percy, and so I do.
But you did it without taking any responsibility from me. I needed training. I needed a teacher. Not an ass wiper.
Ass Eat is my middle name. And you know that.
What a callback!
Do not change the subject. The point is, I was a weapon.
Yes.
And all you did was hide me, store me somewhere else, knowing that I was dangerous.
Yes, I regret it.
And then you let my mother and father try and guide me into some other direction. It was clear what I was supposed to be, and you could have helped me.
Well,
Instead, when I come asking for answers, you strike me? Is that our relationship now? I've done nothing to you.
or for me.
It seems to me that what Mr. Percy has primarily done is prevent you from learning from your own horrible mistakes, so that you make them again and again and again. I don't know that's made you any happier, but, well, you see where my mistakes have led me.
Have you made others? Has he erased your memory, Schnobik? Or is it only that you're allowed to make mistakes when you run away from the family?
I have not erased his.
If he tried, I would run him through.
He did say it was with your blessing.
But maybe that is the difference between us.
Well, perhaps.
Galwinia, you asked me earlier what I knew of myself. And with my memory apparently having been wiped, I've had fleeting moments of memories of times before.
Yes.
Of terrible things I wish not to speak of.
Yes.
And vulgar acts committed by friends, and I'll look her right in the eyes, and family.
Yes.
Why did you ask me that question? What do you know?
You're still calling me sister. So you obviously don't know everything. You better sit down for this, Filnyr.
He just paces around.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm not sure I can sit right now.
Ethrafin, Willadria, and me, we are not your sisters. We are your daughters, or, to be more truthful of it, we are likely your granddaughters. You have been here a great deal longer than anyone else we know. And Mr. Percy's father and Mr. Percy's grandfather before him, this is how you have met. Ionus and The Silhavines. He has done this to you a number of times as well. They have. The court wizards of Monterre are. They're not like you, Ionus. They are benders of minds in the way that you, Filnyr, are a bender of time and objects. And I'm sorry if this comes as a great surprise or hurts you somehow, but
It's not as much of a surprise as you might think.
even mother and father, mother was your child as well. And you asked her, let me please have a normal life. Maybe this will all end. And so they gave it to you, and they sought out Percy's father, who, by the way, Ionus, I am very sad to let you know, he was slain in a prison break. Your mother is fine, but Percy's father was killed.
I just look at Mr. Percy.
You're still grappling him, I take it, right?
Well, he didn't. He pushed it away.
He pushed it away.
He let him,
and then
he let
just
him
let
get
him do it.
Then he
Let him
just
do
like walked into it. Yeah.
it.
Ionus, it is not your fault. But as I have said, I don't believe the loyalty that my family has given yours has led to very good things for my family or for yours. And for what it's worth, I think you will be better off without the services of my people anymore. I think your mother will be better off too. She wielded my father like a cudgel.
I'd take a seat as well.
I'm still not sure what to make of all of this. This agelessness I apparently have, this relationship to the plane of our existence. I don't understand my role. Why is it my role in any of this? What does the existence of this realm have to do with me?
Oh, Ionus, you haven't told him anything. Because you don't remember, I apologize.
Mr. Percy.
This is the only knowledge you told me when you sought me out after Chandolin and my father were already imprisoned. This is the one thing you told me, and I still don't know what it means. You told me that Filnyr was the center of Gilbrain.
Mr. Percy, you have this amazing ability to take what's in someone's mind, to bend it. Can you bend it back?
It is very, very painful. I could try. The mind is a very
Excellent.
complicated thing, Ionus. Whose mind would you like me to unwind?
Well, it appears Filnyr has a lot more to remember than I. So in an effort to protect my friend, you should start with me to even see if it would work. And I cut him loose.
I will I can try, Ionus. You might go insane. I could break your mind, and your mind is what you have that is your greatest asset. But I can try.
Brother, I would tell you not to trust this man. But I'm beginning to realize I cannot trust anyone in this room. And the two of you don't even trust yourselves.
Nor you any longer.
You're not exactly high on the list yourself, Schnobik.
Well, yes, unwind your memories and then we can discuss the Robert Hark being sabotaged.
I let Mr. Percy go.
Very well. What you are about to experience is going to seem very real. Very, very real.
But it is not real?
What I'm saying to you is that you will not experience it as a memory.
What he's saying to you is go down to the market, buy a hat, and get ready to hold the fuck on to it.
Galwinia, I will need an asp. Schnobik, I will need you to bite the snake. And I will need you to make it vampiric.
No, you will have to find another way. I will take no part in this.
Then
Your mind games are your own.
the risk is even greater. I can do it with the asp alone. But your internal fortitude will be tested to its greatest limits. I wish I'd never taken part in any of these things. I wish I'd never listened to your father.
What requirement do you have of the asp?
The asp must bite him, injecting its poison into him, bringing him right to the very edges of death. And then, while his body struggles to stay alive, that is when I can trick the mind into unwinding itself.
And how does that sound to you, brother?
I am doing a perception check to Galwinia while he's talking. I'd need a high perception roll at some point today. That's a 3. Forget it.
So, no, don't forget it. Here's what it seems like from Galwinia. Galwinia does not like that Percy is doing anything with you. Galwinia does not like it that he is getting wrapped up into your bullshit again. And as far as why she feels that way, anyone's guess.
She doesn't look like she's anticipating or that I'm being tricked or anything like that.
If anything, she seems like Percy's being tricked into getting back into the fucked up relationship that you've had with him your whole life.
He's getting too old for this shit.
He's getting way too old for this shit.
And you'll notice he did not lead with the asp, poison, death's door.
Ionus,
Very well, if it must be done, I will do it. And from the sleeve of my cloak uncoils a long, venomous snake.
Ionus,
Sip
are
or
you
suckle
sure?
honeydew.
Are you sure, Ionus?
Ionus faints.
Oh, fuck.
This is his worst nightmare.
Yeah. All right. So you're out. You're unconscious.
Yeah.
and you hear Percy's voice in your unconscious mind, and he says, Master Ionis, this might make it easier, but I must hear you say that you want to go through with this.
And I can respond somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say, just do it.
And Filnyr, he looks at you and says, I think you should, if you can contact him in his dream, just so you hear it yourself, he has told me that he wants to continue on with this process, and I am happy to do so, but I do not want either one of you to think that I'm doing this against his will. I've never done anything against his will.
Yes, maybe that's the problem.
Mr. Percy, I believe you. I'm just not certain that all these memories coming back is the best plan, but if this is what he really wants.
Perhaps the answers that you are searching for will be found inside his bulbous brain. Very well.
Do I have to, let me look at Dream real quick. I have it. I just don't know if I want to enter a trance in this room with these people.
Yeah. Percy is taking off his shirt now. He is down to his under knickers, and you forgot what a muscular old dude he was.
Oh yeah.
He is totally ripped. And he's, so he looks over and he says, you may enter his dream if you want to, Filnyr, but I would prefer to do this now while he is still out.
It will take me 1 minute.
It will take me a minute as well. Schnobik, have your snake bite me first.
Gladly.
So Filnyr's going to go sit on the bed, back to the wall so he can see the room in front of him, because you go into a trance when you cast Dream as the messenger, but you can still see and react if, or like you can't actually take an action, but I can end it if something weird is happening.
And Galwinia walks over to you and begins to rub your back and says, I will watch you. I will watch you, grandfather.
It is
so
strange to call you granddaughter. Okay.
We are 0 cousins, thrice removed.
Not. I forget how those things work, but now's not the time. Okay, I'll cast Dream.
Okay. Are you going to have him bite Percy?
Yes.
All right. So he bites him, and you can tell that Percy is now poisoned. And he says, oh, very well. Now have him bite Ionis right there in the neck. As he is injecting the poison, you must bite and suck of. You must bite and suck of the asp. You can tell he's like losing his shit a little bit.
No, that doesn't sound right to me.
Turn your snake as you bite him. And he reaches his hand out and he says,
you have a bad habit of not giving the full instructions before we begin.
And he puts his hands on Ionis's head and he begins to chant in Undercommon. Does anyone here speak Undercommon?
Negative.
As a matter of fact, I do.
I know you do. And you hear him chanting the incantations for modify memory, and you you've seen some of this magic before, but not like this. And he's bleeding from his snake bite, and he puts his lips onto Ionus's head. And Filnyr, you're inside his dream now.
Yeah.
So you can communicate with him as this is happening.
Yep.
Do you have anything you want to ask him or say to him?
No, I mean, I want to see where we are first. I mean, I can
Okay.
tell him that I'm here with him.
Okay.
So, Ionus, I can stay with you as long as you like.
Oh, Filnyr. Oh, thank the gods, Filnyr. What's happening? What's happening?
Mr. Percy is...
Is there a snake on me, Filnyr? Is there a snake?
No.
Oh, okay. Maybe that was a joke. All right. I can breathe now. Okay. Thank you for being here.
It seems it was meant to be. But I'm glad to be
All right.
here.
All right. So I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw, Ionus.
Okay, come on. Natural 1.
That is what you wanted. I'll tell you, if you'd have passed this saving throw, you were going to have a very difficult wisdom save at the end of this process.
Oh, wow.
So you wanted to fail this save,
Yeah.
and it was only a DC 12. It was only a DC 12, so this was like very, very good. You've essentially added 5 to your wisdom save at the end of this.
Oh, wow.
So back in the outer world, Schnobik Percy is dying, and he is casting on Ionus's head, and he keeps his hand and he looks over and he says, "Schnobik, if I begin to fall over, you must keep my hands on your brother's head for us this thing to work. Just keep me with him. We must be connected."
Very well. So I mean, you can tell me if you want me to roll this now or not. I still do not trust that Percy isn't about to wipe out all of Ionus's memories for the last month.
Yeah, I think that's a very, I mean, do you want to do a perception check?
Well,
or
I was going to
insight
do an
check?
arcana. I mean, because basically
Yes.
I can see and hear everything he's doing. I just don't know to assess what kind of magic he's doing.
Yes. Yeah. So do an arcana check.
15.
So because you haven't seen him cast in his very peculiar way,
Mhm.
this seems like way more work than
It would take to just modify someone's memory or like wipe it out.
yes,
Yeah.
to wipe the last day or whatever. This is like a serious spell that he is casting now.
This is not
Um,
like forget you guys found out where we were.
That's right. This is definitely not forget you guys found out where we were.
Okay.
And you can hear his heartbeat. It is slowing. I mean, down to dangerous levels at this point. And Ionus, you wake up suddenly.
I'm back in the room.
You're back somewhere. And you are shaken awake. And Filnyr is over you, and he says,
Ionus, they're coming. Get up, get yourself ready.
and then from the road, you hear the voice of Abel Rockbrother call out and say,
Who goes there? Who's coming to my house?
and that's where we're going to end episode 88
Oh,
of
shit.
Every War Must End, the Dungeon Dads podcast, to give you a little sense of what we're doing next time.
on the infamous episode
Flashback
89.
episode.
Last back episode. You and Abel and Filnyr will be in the Gilbrain Wilds together, doing the adventure that was wiped from your memory.
Oh my God.
Do we need to like de-level our characters?
Yeah,
Except
what
for maybe
level are we?
Abel's probably 20 and we're like level 2.
We'll figure it out on the bonus.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. This is
I'm
crazy.
shaking.
I love it. Like a bottle episode. We got it. All right.
It's a bottle episode.
Coming up in 2 weeks.
And then a really serious role for insanity following it.
Oy, oy, oy.
Might be over for old Ionus.
I don't think you can use luck points as you are as you're coming out of a mental compulsion stupor.
Let's
can
save
you?
Sure
it for
he
the
can.
bonus. Save it
Sure
for
he
the bonus.
We're gonna talk about
Luck
this.
applies across the board, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about this.
We're going to talk about it.
What would you? I'll just say, what would you call someone who had a very high probability of going insane who did not go insane? I would call
I
that
guess
person
lucky.
lucky. Yeah.
I guess you call that person lucky.
Well, we'll talk about that and a whole lot more on the bonus episode. Available through
goodness.
Patreon, patreon.com/Dungeon Dads. We've got a whole group of people over there we love. Talk to them all the time on Discord. It's only available
So
through
good.
Patreon membership. Thank you very much.
All sorts
meet
of
us
fun
over
links in the show notes. Including
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. And come back in 2 weeks for the final episode of Everyone.
Episode 89, rewriting
Final is
everything.
in bunny ears.
89.01.
89, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4.
We just can't, but my style will be like episode 89, part 1 of 16. And then of course we end up
Kids still
part
can't
1
do-
of 16, part A. 89.16.
Part 16-45.
Dash-
Yes.
Man,
lesson
it's
to
just
the
me with
DMs.
my kids doing 2.5,
Yeah.
3/4,
So
2
terrible.
5/6.
Hey, I'll
You
teach
just
them
can't
fractions.
call. You just can't call the end of your campaign.
No.
You just can't do it.
But when he
Can't do
called it, did you think this is where we'd be? I sure didn't.
Not at
I
all.
sure didn't either.
Well, toodaloo.
I thought you'd be here so much sooner. Toodaloo, everybody.
Too bad.